Hi guys. I'm starting to feel a lot better, a lot more like myself, remembering who I was before I kind of was sucked dry from the narcissist. And I feel like for this video, I'm going to talk about something that I think is extremely important and one of the most dangerous aspects of dealing with a narcissist, and that's the flying monkeys or their supporters. So that's what I'm going to focus on. But my feeling now is that part of this healing process is to eventually get to the point where this is no longer an issue for you. Like, you're able to get past the pain, past the hurt, and move on. Go from the victim to the survivor. And because of that, you want to heal. You don't want to rush too much, but you also don't want to stay in the victim mode where it's just all about, oh my God, narcissism, and woe is me, because then you'll get comfortable there and stay there. And that's not a place you want to live your life. Each one of us as humans, as souls, as energy, we want to keep growing. And love, happiness, positivity is the better side of that spectrum. You don't want to stay in this anger and resentment. It's just not a space that you want to be in. I hope you agree. So with that said, I'm going to go into what I want for this video about the flying monkeys, but keep in mind that the process of healing here is knowing first off that, determining if you were a victim of narcissistic personality disorder, someone who let's remember, has an extreme ego, everything is about them, is manipulative, does smear campaigns against you, makes you question pretty much everything that's happening in your head, accuses you of the same things that they're doing, uses flying monkeys or supporters to make you feel completely isolated, alone, and as if you're the problem. Just someone who just sucks you dry, makes you feel like you're nothing, you're inferior, they are the best. So if that is the case, if you have gotten through these videos and other videos and you've done your research, okay, yes, I am suffering from narcissistic abuse, then you need to start the process of really maybe listing what this person did to you, listing what your responses were, how it hurt you, how it affected your life and your well-being, and then start the process of healing and getting past that. And that's an assumption that you are removing that person from your life, either gradually or abruptly. But if you decide, or you don't, you always have choices, but if the person is a parent or the significant other you're married to, etc., and for whatever reason you decide to keep that person in your life, then the process is a little different. So we got to always remember those are the two options in healing and recovering from this abuse. So that I'll get to probably in the next video. But this to me is the flying monkeys or the supporters of the narcissist. This is extremely important. And I'm only now realizing more and more the people I've come across in my lifetime that were victims of narcissistic abuse. But I've come across people generally more extreme when their parent is a narcissist, sad to say. But people who have dealt with that smear campaign, dealt with the isolation that a narcissist will put you through. But on top of that, had people, friends, exes, family, who they got on board, the whole propaganda against you, made them see everything, triangulated, and made them feel as if you're a certain way, you're so horrible, you're so crazy, you're so this, you're bipolar, you're this, you're that. So starts putting all these ideas in their head, keeping you separate from them so they can never really understand who you really are. And overall, just for people who maybe don't know about this, and for people who have been through this, you understand better than most, to deal with someone who's sucking you dry emotionally, who's making you feel inferior, destroying your self-esteem, manipulating you, to be that victim, to be isolated in the ways that they isolate you, and then on top of that to have them and their gang coming down at you, I'm pretty sure that's led to some suicides here or there. I dealt with a young lady who literally almost almost took her life because she just couldn't deal in the microcosm that she was living in with all of this pressure, just nonstop. So the flying monkeys, of course, comes from the Wizard of Oz, and you can there's a book I'll put in the description that it kind of shows the similarities between the Wizard of Oz and narcissism. These people may be doing it purposely, so it's kind of like that whole gang mentality, mean girls, the it club. But sometimes they are unaware that they are helping the narcissist. They might legitimately care about this person and think that everything they're saying about you is true, and then just are just supporting their friends, supporting their family members, supporting their whoever. So you have to keep that in mind as well, and not just go straight into attack mode. A lot of this, if you are dealing with someone at the higher end of the spectrum of narcissism, is removing yourself from that person, whether it be temporarily or permanently. You need to have the time and space to start working on yourself. When it comes down to it, this whole process, once you understand that you have been victimized, is all about empowering you and strengthening you, helping you get back to who you are and who you were meant to be so that you can flourish.